At 67 years old, Vince Gill is finally sharing the complete truth about his time with the Eagles, and his words reveal a story far more complex and moving than anyone anticipated. Beneath the pristine vocal arrangements and tranquil stage presence lies the burden of extraordinary expectations and a reality he's protected for years. Stay with us to hear what he discloses. Close to a decade has passed since Glenn Frey's death in January 2016 sent shockwaves through the music world. As a co-founder of the Eagles, Frey had been instrumental in shaping America's rock landscape through unforgettable tracks such as Hotel California, Take It Easy, and Lion Eyes, while simultaneously representing the band's core identity and character. His departure created an enormous void, both in the hearts of his fellow band members and within the band's signature harmony-centric musical approach. Supporters across the globe grieved the loss of an artist whose impact had reached across generations, and questions swirled about what lay ahead for the group. Confronting this enormous loss, the Eagles encountered a pivotal choice: how to proceed without one of their foundational pillars. Though the remaining lineup, Don Henley, Joe Walsh, and Timothy B. Schmidt, remained devoted to the band's heritage, they understood that any continuation would demand someone who could respect Frey's distinctive contributions without simply copying him. After thoughtful deliberation, they reached out to Vince Gill, a celebrated country music vocalist, composer, and skilled multi-instrumentalist. Vince Gill, recognized for his exceptional guitar proficiency and silky, heartfelt vocals, had always held deep admiration for the Eagles. For Gill, receiving the band's invitation represented simultaneously an extraordinary privilege and an overwhelming obligation. He has frequently discussed the tremendous regard he maintained for the ensemble, characterizing himself as a devoted fan who comprehended the hallowed nature of their musical collection. During media appearances, Gill has stressed that he never perceived his position as substituting for Glenn Frey. Rather, he considered it a chance to help safeguard the band's spirit, delivering Frey's material with deep respect while simultaneously adding his own musical talents to sustain the group's energy. Officially becoming part of the Eagles in 2017, Gill confronted the task of assuming a position that had characterized the band for more than 40 years. He absorbed the nuances of Frey's vocal harmonies, guitar phrases, and performance style, all while preserving his own genuine character. His involvement enabled the Eagles to maintain their touring schedule and live performances, providing followers the opportunity to witness the band's music in its nearly authentic configuration. Beyond mere technical capability, Gill introduced a gracious and unassuming quality to performances that connected with both his colleagues and spectators, alleviating the strain of losing a founding figure and assisting the ensemble through a transformative period. In media discussions, Gill has recalled his initial performances with the band, describing the noticeable anxiety among audience members during those early shows. One narrative he frequently shares focuses on performing Take It to the Limit, a composition closely linked with Frey's powerful vocal delivery and the emotional crescendos of Eagles' performances. As Gill delivered the initial lines, he sensed the crowd's unified examination, as though each person silently wondered whether this unfamiliar voice could do justice to the song's essence. There was genuine uncertainty, he noted, observing that supporters weren't merely assessing his technical proficiency, but also questioning whether the band could genuinely continue without Glenn. The pivotal instant, as Gill tells it, occurred after the opening chorus of Take It to the Limit. He characterized a delicate yet meaningful transformation in the atmosphere, a wave of comfort sweeping through the audience as if they were unanimously contemplating, "I believe this will work out." For him, that experience proved truly moving. It represented a silent recognition from dedicated fans that they were prepared to believe in him, to embrace him not as Frey's substitute, but as someone dedicated to maintaining the authenticity and heart of the Eagles. This delicate mutual understanding became a crucial element of Gill's early period with the band. These first performances provided Gill important insights about modesty and rapport. He discovered that technical excellence by itself proved insufficient. He needed to channel the sentiment, background, and core of the music. Every composition became a conversation with listeners, a balance between respecting history and offering his own voice authentically. Gradually, as supporters observed his reverence, warmth, and musical aptitude, their hesitation slowly diminished. Critical assessments from these initial tours frequently praised Gill's capacity to blend flawlessly into the ensemble while retaining his individual character, evidence of his awareness and appreciation for the material. Even after multiple years of performing with the Eagles, Vince Gill has remained notably conscious of the sensitive balance between his personal artistic expression and the band's legendary repertoire. In a 2025 conversation with American Songwriter, he provided an illuminating perspective into how he views his function within the ensemble and how he manages it alongside his own substantial solo endeavors. Gill, widely recognized as a masterful electric guitarist and one of the most talented singers in contemporary country music, acknowledged that his primary offering to the band centers on his vocals. While he commands remarkable instrumental abilities, he clarified that the band recruited him specifically for his singing capabilities, especially in maintaining the complex harmonies and unique sound previously established by Glenn Frey. This differentiation emphasizes the intrinsic aspect of joining a storied group. While technical mastery matters critically, the ability to integrate into an existing vocal character often proves even more vital. Despite his critical function, Gill confessed to sometimes longing for his personal material, acknowledging a natural conflict between individual creativity and collaborative responsibility. "I miss my solo career. I really miss performing that music," he stated, expressing the complex reality of delivering legendary compositions that aren't his. For an artist of Gill's standing, whose solo body of work extends across decades and encompasses numerous chart-dominating successes, the desire to return to his personal collection remains perfectly natural. However, his statements also convey a wisdom and self-knowledge. He acknowledges that participating in the Eagles represents an exceptional opportunity to engage with a cultural landmark and to contribute to musical heritage in a significant manner. Simultaneously, Gill highlighted his thankfulness for the band's synergy and his ability to find fulfillment within it. "If I can experience
as well," he remarked, reinforcing his conviction that performance involves emotional resonance and vitality as much as technical execution. His philosophy proves mutual. His pleasure on stage transmits to the crowd, enriching the live encounter for both devoted followers and recent discoverers. Gill's outlook reveals a sophisticated comprehension of his function, not merely as a performer, but as a guardian of audience connection, balancing respect for the Eagles' heritage with his personal creative energy. Looking ahead, Gill verified that he continues pursuing solo endeavors alongside his Eagles commitments. He suggested new music under development, mentioning that he's preparing to release 7 to 9 fresh tracks, indicating that while his dedication to the Eagles stays firm, his individual artistry remains far from inactive. Furthermore, he maintains touring, actively performing both independently and with the Eagles, including their prominent Las Vegas residency. These parallel trajectories demonstrate his exceptional ability to navigate two separate musical spheres, honoring history with the Eagles while simultaneously nurturing his own developing creative expression. In a Boston Globe discussion, he stressed that he doesn't desire the limelight, a characteristic that sets him apart from numerous larger-than-life figures that have inhabited the rock universe. This humble, ensemble-focused mentality is exactly why Don Henley personally recruited him following Glenn's passing. Henley acknowledged that Gill grasped what being in a band meant, not as a celebrity pursuing personal recognition, but as a musician devoted to the unified sound, chemistry, and heritage of the ensemble. For a band with decades of background and numerous powerful personalities, this kind of disposition wasn't simply appreciated, it proved indispensable. Gill's humility extends past rhetoric. It's visible in how he engages with his colleagues on stage and during practice sessions. He has related anecdotes demonstrating both his appreciation for his teammates and his flexibility as a performer. One such account involves a rendition of Joe Walsh's signature Rocky Mountain Way. While executing power chords, Gill remembers Walsh glancing over with astonishment and remarking, "I assumed you were a bluegrass player." Gill's response was distinctively humble and good-natured. "Well, I am, but I appreciate this, and I'm capable of this as well." This interaction demonstrates not only his proficiency in traversing various musical genres, from country to rock, but also his readiness to fulfill the requirements of the band. Rather than imposing his personal inclinations, he adjusts effortlessly, serving the composition rather than attracting attention to himself. For Gill, participating in the Eagles has never centered on self-importance or individual achievement. Unlike some musicians who perceive joining a legendary ensemble as a platform to spotlight themselves, he approaches his function with a caretaker's perspective. He regards himself as a protector of the band's chronicle, someone whose priority involves preserving the essence of their music and guaranteeing that every show meets decades of anticipation. His participation strengthens the concept that exceptional music frequently concerns collaboration, trust, and unified perspective more than individual excellence. Gill's humility also resonates with audiences and reviewers similarly. Supporters perceive that he genuinely desires the compositions to excel, that his mission involves serving the music rather than eclipsing it. This mentality has secured him admiration, both during performances and privately, helping facilitate what could have been a difficult transition following Frey's passing. Even as an extensively accomplished solo performer with innumerable awards and decades of experience, Gill's focus remains on harmony, chemistry, and authenticity, emphasizing the collective above the individual. For Vince Gill, joining the Eagles has never been simply a professional decision. It has been, in his personal words, an extraordinary privilege. From the instant he was invited to assume a position left empty by Glenn Frey's passing, Gill has approached the experience with deep gratitude and veneration. In countless media appearances, he has conveyed how each show carries a profound sense of responsibility, not merely to the music itself, but to the supporters who have treasured it for decades, and to the legacy of the band that has shaped Rock Chronicle. Taking the stage, he has stated generates a combination of awe and humility, because the songs he delivers are more than popular tracks. They represent cultural landmarks that have defined entire generations. Gill has been forthright about the poignant nature of his entrance into the band. He recognizes that the tragedy of Glenn Frey's death created the circumstances that provided his opportunity, and he has reflected on the sensitive emotional significance of that truth. However, he chooses to focus not on the sorrow of the circumstances, but on the opportunity to pay tribute to the past. His perspective resembles that of a guardian, someone charged with preserving the essence of the Eagles' music while ensuring that performances remain lively, authentic, and emotionally powerful. In conversations, he often emphasizes that this isn't about replacing Frey. It's about contributing meaningfully to the ongoing narrative of the band, maintaining the music's vitality for both longtime enthusiasts and fresh audiences encountering it first time. This appreciation intertwines with Gill's personal sense of joy and fortune. He has consistently characterized the thrill of performing masterpieces such as Hotel California, Desperado, and Take It Easy, noting that he never dismisses the opportunity to perform songs that have shaped America's musical landscape. Each performance, he explains, serves as a reminder of his good fortune to participate in something beyond himself, an opportunity to contribute to a musical legacy that spans decades and continues to resonate across generations. For him, the music holds sacred status, and the ability to enter a band with such history represents both an honor and a responsibility he approaches with care. Gill's appreciation also appears in his commitment to professionalism and humility. He treats every show as a partnership, respecting his bandmates' contributions, valuing the trust that Don Henley, Joe Walsh, and T.B.S. Schmidt have invested in him, and ensuring audiences receive an authentic Eagles experience. This mindset allows him to navigate the intricate dynamics of a storied band while maintaining his individual identity as a musician. It also reflects his understanding that opportunity brings with it the obligation to serve something greater than personal ambition. What are your thoughts on Vince Gill's honest reflections about his Eagles journey? Share your perspective in the comments section below. We truly hope you found value in this video. Please give it a thumbs up, share it with fellow music lovers, and subscribe to our channel for more compelling stories from the music world. Your support keeps us going. Thanks so much for tuning in, and we'll see you in our upcoming content. Until next time.